and I'm assuming that Stork or Free, one of them is going to get out of that side of the bracket. I can't see, 4GG maybe, but I mean, it kind of sucks that Nada doesn't have any Zergs to see some awesome old school TVZ, but I mean, TVP is probably not his weakest matchup, so that's working against him, but at the same time, he can practice it a lot.
Yeah, that's true, but I still can't see him beating Stork or Jangby.
And I want to throw this in there too. Like, this is another huge bias nerd thing, but World Cyber Games 2009 already announced that StarCraft is on the game list. Like, they have 5 games that they're gonna use, and then like a bunch of them. Like, I'm so pumped for that. Like, I'm so happy that they didn't, because like MYM cut their StarCraft team like in preparation for StarCraft 2, and like everyone's like waiting for it and shit. But like, World Cyber Games is like the biggest prize pool, and like I'm still glad that they're like not being huge nerds about it too. And like I'm hoping with my fingers crossed that StarCraft 2 is going to be good, but it's good that people are still investing into StarCraft, and maybe like if StarCraft 2 blows up, like hopefully StarCraft 1 doesn't fall apart. I guess that's kind of not relative to the MSL, but I still think it's really interesting news. I'm glad to hear it.
I agree. And if I may go off topic for a little bit as well, I'd just like to add my 2 cents. And yeah, I'm glad to see it back in there, but at the same time, like, I can't share your being super excited just because WCG's become such a fucking joke to me. Like, I don't know if you guys have followed WCG.
That's
but
true.
Like, they have like cell phone games now. Like you have Stork going over and winning WCG for StarCraft and getting the same amount of prize money as some douchebag who played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for like 7 hours because he got it for last Christmas, and they're sharing the same stage with the same prize money. Like, it's just such a pathetic. I mean, no offense to all of you Tony Hawk's Underground players these days, but can you really compare some 16-year-old kid who got a game for Christmas?
Fuck you, Tony Hawk's cell phone players.
Can you compare some 16-year-old kid who got a game for Christmas and played it like 2 hours a day after school for a few months to a guy like Stork, who's like one of the best players in the world and has been practicing against the best players in the world for 12 hours a day for 5 years, and you're putting these 2 guys beside each other and you're saying like, congratulations to the both of you. Well done, Johnny. Like, come on, give me a fucking break. But anyway, before I could rant about this for like 2 hours, so let's just fucking move on. And this is about the MSL. This is
that kind of wraps up, that's going off topic a little bit, with the World Cyber Game shit. And so let's bring it back. And one thing I want to point out, and this is actually an idea I have, and I haven't really told it to like a lot of people, and I haven't like mentioned it a lot, but basically like I threw up the AdWords on our thanks. No, dude, I threw up the AdWords on our homepage, and like I wasn't gonna like take money from it, like it wasn't, I just wanted to like pay for the domain, but I was thinking like, what about if next MSL, like if we had like a fantasy MSL tournament where like, let's say we had a decent amount of viewers, maybe at least like 1,000 or so people watching every video, which isn't that really far-fetched. I mean, what if we got everyone just like to click 2 ads, and we built up like $100 or $150 prize pool, and then we just, for the next MSL, we just had everyone like submit a bracket, and like the first place would get like $100 and second place would get like $25. Like, that's just like something I can do, I guess. Like, I was thinking about like tournaments or stuff like that, but I mean, for like a commentary kind of thing, like, I don't know, what's your opinion on that? Like, do you think if we had everyone just like click some fucking ad banner a couple times, like we could build up some money, and then like, do you think that would take off? Do you think people would do that, like submit brackets and shit for money? Like, I'd post it on Team Liquid and stuff, but
if we got the word out there, I think people would do it. But like, I don't know, like, I'm not the right person to ask. If you guys who are listening to this video, post some comments and let us know what you think about it. I think it's a good idea, but we just have to see like if we get that kind of support. Like, so let us know, guys, in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think you would want to take part in something like that? I mean, shit, why wouldn't you if you get a chance to win a free $100?
Right.
If you want to support it, you'd have to get out there and you'd have to click on the ads. It's not a lot of work, but you'd have to go to the website and click on the ads. It's not
right. I mean, if you're on the site, like, watching the shit anyway, like, why not? Yeah. And just, exactly. I want to throw a couple things out there. One, like, I can't even take money out of my AdSense account until I have over $100 in ads. So, I mean, that would be, like, the minimum prize right there. So, I mean, it would definitely be, like, something, like, reasonable, like, something worth, like, because, then, like, get people, like, looking at the stats and stuff, like, trying to figure out, make predictions. Then, like, what if somebody, like, hits every single game and shit? Like, I think that'd be pretty cool. But, like, And, it's kind of ad abusing, but you have to realize, one, their websites get hits, and that's what they want. And two, I use Google AdWords myself. I've probably dumped anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 into AdWords for my business. So asking from like $100 to $150, really, I don't think that's pretty humble.
Maybe you should just fucking tell them that and just ask them to make a little advance.
Well, anyway, so be huge nerds. Go to our website. Yeah, no. Go to our website. Just click on one fucking ad. Just click on like a couple ads a month. Like if you're just on the website, like that gives us money, and then we get money, and then we can do shit with it. Like that's basically my idea. Like I think that'd be a fun idea. But yeah, dude. So that pretty much like wraps up everything I have to say. So I mean, I guess we can move on to the MSL.
Yeah,
so like I want to point out too, like
supposed to be about
yeah, but I mean we gotta talk shit, dude. I love Nada. But anyway, dude, okay, so the MSL. A couple things is we're going to have like a big change of format, which I think makes it interesting. I mean, not a change from the previous MSL, but from the round of 32. So like I said, every single match is is a best of 3. So I mean, it's definitely rewarding tournament veterans and people that are more innovative and practice more, which I think is going to be exciting. And now I believe we're keeping the same map rotation. I think the order is Destination, Carthage, Byzantium 2, and Neo Harmony. Is it?
They're using the thumbs down system. So because there's 4 official MSL maps, the player who won his group is the way they make the round of 16 is the player who wins his group is paired up against another player who got second in his group, and in the pairings, the guy who won gets to thumb down one of the 4 maps, and so they're playing 3 out of the 4 maps. And I don't know what the official order. The official order is like Carthage, Destination, Harmony, Byzantium. I think that's what it is.
I think it's Destination first. Well, actually, the reason I wanted to talk about that was kind of like to go into our first group. We have Savior versus Magic, and one thing I want to point out is all the other games are on Destination, but their game is on Carthage, which leads me to think that Savior has thumbs down Destination as his map pick versus Up Magic, which, I think that was a given. I think that's a real big benefit to Savior. I mean, Destination has just been such a terrible map for ZVT, and I think that definitely gives him the advantage here. I think if Up Magic had the one up on him and he could thumbs down like Neo Harmony or something, like it'd be real tough for Savior. But so not only do we're not going to see any weird Destination builds, but we also get to see a TVZ on Carthage as our first game of the round of 16, which we haven't seen before, which is going to be pretty interesting. But given that Savior is thumbs down Destination, what do you think about Savior versus Up Magic, which is probably, I would say, one of the most exciting sets in the whole, probably even MSL?
I'd have to say, I mean, if you first of all, look at the maps, because we were talking about that. Yeah, getting rid of Destination, that's huge. The first 2 maps are Carthage and Neo Harmony. And Carthage, we don't have any ZVT stats for it, but I just imagine that it's a good ZVT map. I mean, you just have a lot of base distance, a lot of open ground, and a lot of, just a lot of ways for Zerg to abuse their mobility. And also, not only that, but you have a third base that's even harder for your opponent to get to and even easier for you to secure. Like, the third base that's off in the corner is just so far away from your opponent that I gotta say that that's a good map for Zerg. So, Savior starting right off the bat with Carthage, followed up by Neo Harmony. Those are the first 2 maps. And he's probably going to 2-0 him. Like, Magic's a great player, but if Savior keeps playing the way he's playing, I'm predicting 2-0 Savior.
Yeah, I guess I agree with you. I think Savior might take it. I mean, it's really going to be up to the first game. It's going to be up to Carthage. Like, you have to keep in mind that Carthage, just like you said, like, I totally agree. That was my exact thoughts looking at that map. That, that just looks like a tough map to play Terran against Zerg. Because the expos, not only they're so numerous, like, it's easy to hide, but they're so far apart. Like, that one in the corner, I mean, it's almost like, the Destination one in the far corner. It's just so difficult to get to, but it's a gas expo.
Yeah, and it has
you also have the high grounds too, where sure they can work with Terran, but I think the very small high